How is it possible to stop the mind getting ahead of itself, running away with its imaginings? For although I'm enjoying sitting here and chatting away with you, my mind is having me off madly chasing on horseback as if it is after some kind of unicorn or other, up down valley and over hill and along by the edges of woods. And not alone does it try to get ahead of itself at times, but doesn't it also try to get, as it were, behind itself, running wildly way and away back into the past, no far enough being enough to go. And of course, there are plenty of occasions when it is attempting almost the impossible, in that it is simultaneously trying both to get ahead and behind of itself. Have it come back and be here with us a while. Easier said than done. And what form does this getting ahead of itself or behind of itself take? Form? What shall I say? How shall I say? It starts out simple enough, with say a single whole thought or even a fragmentary thought, and before I know it, hasn't it already taken off and is traveling at a breathtaking speed in either or both directions? And although it can be a thriller moment, it is quite exhausting for my mind. Does it for the duration remain in such a form, or does it go through a transformation? It goes from plain and simple right up and out into unbelievable exaggeration. And though I were to be riding on horseback, the horse does not feel to me to be ever touching the ground as it gallops along. Even as we are careering along, the surrounding trees and fields seem blurred. At times we are running up and down endless mountains of golden sand dunes. At other times we are pounding and splashing across wavy sea waters. And again, and at other times, it is as if we are galloping away out on space itself about the stars. And as we are careering along, the surrounding stars and even galaxies appear to be blurred. And I know not of a for reason why. Do you have sight of what it is you are chasing? All the time, but nothing of any clarity. Would you be able to go as far as saying, and with a certain amount of conviction, that it is definitely a unicorn of some kind or other that you are chasing? I have never seen a unicorn, and besides and ever besides, I don't believe in the existence of such an the alike creature. So I, by saying it is a unicorn, is just my way of articulating I don't know what it is in truth. One thing is for certain though, it is something very real, something very much alive and has a mind all of its own. And not alone that, but it is always aware of me, chasing it, for from time to time it looks around to see where I am. Is it the same unicorn you see all the time? No, there is a multitude of them, and it depends on perhaps my state of mind which one will appear. There are, for instances, when I might be chasing 2 or 3 of them at a time, even a herd of them, with no 2 of them ever being of the same color or size. Are they beautiful? For the most part, yes, but there are occasions too when I find myself chasing a very ugly-looking 1, 2, 3 or more. Perhaps ugly is not the correct word to be using, rather that there is something about them which makes me feel quite terrified of them. Do they ever communicate with you, speak to you? They do all the time, but hardly am I able to grasp anything of what it is they are saying. Most of the time, I just don't know what it is they are saying. And I have this feeling that more than anything, the problem is me, must be me, for I just don't know how to properly comprehend what it is they are trying to impart unto me. There are times I think it is the very commotion of the chase itself that is preventing me from understanding what is being said. How do the chases normally end? Do you manage to capture a unicorn? That is the annoying thing about it. I have never ever caught a single unicorn, or whatever that thing is I am chasing. A bilocation aspect of it is that while I am away in my mind intensely chasing, I am still here, sitting and very attentively trying to take in every single word you say. Are there two of yous? No, only one, but simultaneously in two places. So are you away someplace right now too? Yes, I am. Can you say what is happening? I will try, but don't be surprised if, while in the telling of it, my mind just on a whim decides to gallop off in a totally different direction. I am simultaneously chasing ahead of myself and behind of myself. Pursuing I am a herd of very ugly unicorns. In the ahead, they are fanatically doing what they were fanatically doing in the behind. And in the behind, they seem to be saying something to the effect that they intend out of obligation to be doing the exact same thing again someday in the future, when should ever such a chance present itself to them, and that at that time they will be doing so with an even greater intensity than did their fathers, uncles, or grandfathers before them. In the ahead, they seem to be already exceeding and extending that obligation by a long shot. It would seem then that there was an interval there when they weren't able to do so. Would that be right? Yes, that would be right. How long do you take that interval to have been? Perhaps 20 years at tops. I think this is a very special gift you have, and rather than trying to find a way to stop your mind from either getting ahead or behind of itself, instead you ought to be embracing it and culturing it. How do I do that? Treat it as if you were in some kind of trance. Be aware of what is happening and take full charge of the chasing. And how to so can I do that? Rather than letting the horse be in charge of the chase, let you be in charge. Having the horse, if even it is a horse at all, be purely your means of pursuing whatever it is you are pursuing. Be strong enough to bring the horse at times to a standstill and then see what happens. Will the unicorn or whatever it is keep on running, or will it stop and wait for you? And rather than racing madly after it, develop some tactical maneuvers, for instance, taking shortcuts or even turning about and running off in the opposite direction, as if you are no longer interested in the chase, and then see what happens. If you are pursuing a herd, you might try focusing your attention on only one or two and drive them off from the herd, and them then alone pursue. Culture some anticipatory skills to predict the direction the unicorn will take. Identify possible patterns in the way it is leading the chase. See what happens when it is facing a hill up ahead. Does it take it on, or does it tend to circumvent it? How about when it comes to a river out front? Does it always take the same route in traversing space? Is there a pattern to its decision-making? Formulate strategies accordingly. Maybe you will need to consider dismounting at times and then slowly and very quietly walking up on it while it is drinking from, say, a spring, lake, or stream. The unicorn or unicorns definitely have something they wish to reveal to you, but they will only do so under certain conditions, conditions of their own making, which you have got to figure out. As you will come to a mastery of all these considerations and to a developing of many more besides, will you be ready and well able to receive from them what it is they wish to impart unto you. Think always beneficial. Think that they are being manifested for your good, and not alone for your good, but for the good of others, even for the good of the whole world. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are very welcome. This proper orientation of my mind have I, for the longest time ever, been in need of hearing, in need of discovering. Now then that you have found it and know it, fully enjoy it. I will, definitely I will. Oh, my mind truly, I know to be a wondrous place, its ideas and their ways immensely fascinating.